love coming on every week and figuring out what we want to discuss about the books that we're delving into. Right now, our current book is Get the Life You Love and Live It. Unfortunately, the author can't be with us today, but good news is we have the next book's author, Ruth Anderson, who is the founder of Enlightened World Network, here with us. So welcome, Ruth.
I've got Trooper here with me.
And Trooper.
Trooper is my friend Denise's dog. Teri staying at Denise's house while working. Trooper wanted to be on camera.
Yes, he did. And he's very demanding. So he sometimes gets his way by doing that. But welcome, Suzanne, Jean, Christina, and Linda. So good to have you here. And anyone that comes on virtually, you're welcome to come in with us. I think, I'm not sure if Kathy Hand is able to join us today or not, but she usually comes on with us for discussion. So today we are going to discuss One Love, which was written by Dr. Ruth Anderson. And I've asked her if she can share with us kind of how this came to be and what we can expect from reading her book.
If I can talk without having my teeth licked, I'll be.
I'll take over. I'll be dog mommy.
So One Love, it really is kind of Archangel Raphael and Archangel Michael's fault that I wrote it, because I had no intention of writing a book at all. And I had met Archangel Michael first, and this was about 7 years ago now. And every day I would go into meditation. Once I had made that connection with him, I learned to go into meditation, and I was just avid about starting every morning, waking up and going into meditation. And Archangel Michael or Archangel Raphael, sometimes the two of them, would meet me in the ethereal realm during my meditation, and they would teach me things. And sometimes it felt like literally flying me off somewhere and teaching me things. And while that was going on, I started hearing, take notes, start writing these things down. And then I heard, write a blog. And I said, okay, what's a blog? I had no idea what that even was. And so I started journaling everything that I was experiencing. And after writing a couple things, and I had heard postings on Facebook, and I thought, that means I have to come out of the closet. That means I have to actually tell people that I'm seeing angels, and they're going to think I'm crazy. And my career, I had retired, so I didn't have to worry about the people that I worked with. But I still thought I had a reputation that I somehow needed to uphold, and talking to angels probably was going to totally destroy that. But I did, and I started putting my voice out there on Facebook, and I would put, memes. I learned how to create memes and then share little tiny snippets of stuff that I was getting. But I didn't really mention angels. And then they said, write a book. And I thought, oh man, then I really have to, I can't hide it then, right? So I started pulling together all of the notes of the things that I had experienced. And I knew that it was not going to be the end all thing that I ever created, but I knew that it was an important piece of documenting the history of the beginning steps of my learning about spirit. And so One Love, Divine Healing at Open Clinic, is the history. And if you, obviously you all are with us here on Enlightened World Network, and when you read this, you will see how far we've come. If you've ever participated in any of the healing pool meditations that we've done, it's at Open Clinic. And this is called One Love Divine Healing at Open Clinic. And it was 6, 7 years ago when I was first taught about the ethereal realm, and that there's a place, I'm sure there's many places, but in particular, a place that I was told was called Open Clinic because it was open 24/7. Of course, there's no time there, right? We know that. And souls can go at any time for healing, whether they have left their body or whether they're still in body. And I was taught how to perceive who was still in a body and who had left their body based on what they looked like in spirit. And so that is divine healing at Open Clinic. And this book really talks about not everything, but many of the things I learned leading up to that, and then what it was like at Open Clinic.
Yeah. And I love how you have taught us about Open Clinic through everything that we do. So I just want to see if anyone has questions or comments, if you've experienced like the healing pool or any of the other things that happen where it's brought out very clearly that there's this open place that's always there for us. And what questions do you have about the book?
I would like to know, have any of you participated in any of the healing pool meditations that we've done? Jean has, Suzanne has not. Linda, you have?
Uh-huh. I've been a silent participant.
Yeah. And do you remember it at all? Did it stand out in your mind at all?
Oh, definitely. And for a long while, every time I went to meditate, I was there. You know, I it just automatically, I have this vision of this door in my heart. And it used to have like a wooden fence in front of it. I don't know how to explain it, but kind of like blinds, sort of, that kept, I don't know. But the first time we went to the healing pool, that door kind of opened.
Mm.
And it never closed again. In fact, the whole door went away. So
Oh.
when I go to the healing pool, I go through this door in my heart and I'm there. And the interesting thing is, I don't know if anyone else experiences this, but when I step through this door, there's always a waiting group for me. And Saint Germain is there, and some other angels, and there's like a little waterfall. I know this sounds crazy, but this is what I see all the time. And it's like you have to take a shower in this waterfall and with these angels, and they're there loving you and welcoming you, and before you can go up to the healing pool, which I envision like on a hill, you have to climb up to get to it. And they always decide, the angels come and ask you if you want help getting up this hill. You know, they go with you. And so anyway, when you're going up this hill, then you see all these different people. And sometimes I see people I know, you know, people from our family, and we go up this hill to this marvelous pool. And do you want me to tell you more about it? I can offer. Okay, it's huge and it's effervescent. It's like liquid, but not really liquid. It's effervescent. And I know there's dragons all around it. People and dragons, and all in the background I see unicorns, and I've never seen the unicorns come any closer for me than in the background. But and then the pool, the angels are there to help you go into the pool, and you go into this wonderful liquid. I don't even know how to explain it. It's like water, but it's not. It just makes you feel so good once you get into it. And then in kind of in the back towards the center of the pool is where I see the light that is the source. It's beautiful, beautiful light. And there's dragons flying in the air above it. And there's a waterfall off to the left where people are going. But the main thing that I always wanted to do is go to that light and be underneath it. And I feel that wonderful light coming down into me. Anyway, that's the way I see the healing pool. And it took me a long time to meditate into anything else because that's where I wanted to be. I just wanted to be there. You know, every time I took my deep breath and closed my eyes, boom, I was there. So it's a beautiful place. If y'all haven't gone, I know that sounds crazy because but it's wonderful. It's wonderful. It's just absolutely beautiful.
There are several, at least 4, maybe more, videos on YouTube, on Enlightened World Network on YouTube, and it's in the playlist. I think it's called Healing Pool Meditations / Enlighten with Dr. Ruth Anderson. And the videos are in there that take you to the healing pool. I love, Jean, what you're saying. I think everybody sees the healing pool in a little bit different way for what they can accept. The first several years that I worked with the healing pool, I never saw anything like dragons or unicorns. I don't think I could have done it. I think I would have gone, okay, I'm out, right? I could do the angels, I could do Divine Mother, I could do Christ. I love the expansive energy that you're talking about, the light, the creator, the God energy. I love being there, but I don't think I could have done the dragons and the unicorns until this year when we were at the healing pool for one of the meditations and they showed up. Now, part of my being prepared for that was working with Carol Ann Cross with the Energies of the New World shows that we were doing. And she was introducing me to the dragons and the unicorns. I would have thought that that was just way too far out there for me before, but then they prepared me for it. And then they showed up at the healing pool. So, you okay?
I just posted a link both in the Facebook comments for this show and in the Soul Food Book Club. I posted a link to a video that you can go and watch where Ruth is leading the meditation with the healing pool. So I encourage all of you to do that meditation and get more familiar with the healing pool. I think it will help you to have more understanding when you read about Open Clinic and go through this book. So Ruth, what's your suggestion for reading this book as far as the chapters? We're going to be going into a discussion for a couple of weeks about the book, and just give us some guidance here.
So we're going to do the book club in 2 weeks. So the first week we're doing chapters 1 through 8, and then the second week we're doing the rest of the book. It's an easy read, I think, but there's a lot packed into it, because if you remember that this is how they prepared me to be able to be in this place of knowing Open Clinic. But, part of it was I didn't know anything about energy. I had grown up feeling emotional connection to the Holy Spirit and to Christ. Had never met an angel. Didn't even know that they really existed. but I had had a lot of intuitive experiences, and I had no constructs to make them make any sense.
Mhm.
And so part of the reading, which is why it's so fast, is like a myriad of times that I had energetic experiences, not knowing what they were. But I mean, really, it's a fast read, but there is a lot in it. It also talks a little bit about chakras and, you know, some of the other things that I was learning. It's a look at my soul's journey.
Mhm.
I mean, it makes you feel kind of vulnerable when you're saying, yeah, this kind of explains my soul's journey. So be gentle. My heart is laid out there for you all to see. So please be gentle. Yeah. And then just to update to where I have been in the last 3 years, I guess, I was told I was going to write another book. And again, it was going through the notes of things that I had learned from different life experiences with Archangel Raphael and Michael in particular. And then when I was about 2 weeks into kind of formulating, oh, okay, here we go again, I was told, no, it's not one book, it's 2 books. And by the way, have it done in 3 months. And I said, okay, well, that's kind of impossible. But if you're saying it can be done, then okay, I believe it can be done. So I just suspended any connection to time as I knew it. I said, okay, but I need time for my family as well. So these 2 were born at the same time. And this one is Walking with Spirit, Divine Illuminations on Life, Death, and Beyond. This one to me is fascinating because Archangel Azrael taught me about what happens when you die. Now, I know darn well that different people have been taught different things, right? It's just where you are in your spiritual walk at that time. But I chronicle all of that. And then about energy that's in the ethereal realm and here on earth, and how those 2 energy planes really coincide. I mean, it's freakishly accurate. So anyway, that's Walking with Spirit, Divine Illuminations on Life, Death, and Beyond. And then the other one I wrote at the same time was Listening to Light, Love Letters from Walking with Spirit. And this one, sorry, Linda?
Can you say that a little bit louder for me?
Oh, it is Listening to Light, Love Letters from Walking with Spirit.
Okay, thank you.
And while this one is what I learned from them, this is more of a continuation of my soul's calling. So, but it was sort of at the same time. So these are all available on Audible as well. So if you would rather hear me read it to you, they're on Audible. They're all on Audible.
On Kindle also, if anyone has a Kindle.
Yep.
They're
Teri,
on-
could you
you can
post
get it
all
Kindle.
3 titles on our webpage, the Soul Book Club? Could you post the titles maybe and write them down, especially for the one we're doing next in book club? I think Kathy, you missed that. Were you there yet? That's going to be the next book.
Yeah,
The
I
one Ruth talked about.
It's
That's what I talked
called One Love.
that one.
One Love.
Mhm.
Yeah. After the one we haven't gotten yet. That's going to be the next one.
Yeah, there was delay in getting the one from Arvind because it was sold out. So
Yeah, I
So
don't
there-
have it either yet.
no, you don't have
Got
it.
that one on Kindle too, because
He will be with us next week on the book.
how are
club.
you, Kathy? I meant to
I'm doing
say hi
okay.
to you when you came in.
It's so bright in this room. I'm having a hard time seeing you guys.
Aw.
Yeah, well, it's bright out here too, so kind of looks funny in here,
Yeah.
but I'm so glad everyone's here.
Me too. I certainly am.
But
Linda, you mentioned, I'm sorry, Jean, go ahead.
I was going to ask Ruth about when she became aware of angels, and because I think most of us Well, I don't know. I shouldn't say that. A lot of us have, even when we were young, we had a closeness, like you said, to the Holy Spirit or to God. I was brought up as a Catholic, and they thought everybody thought I was going to be a nun. You know, I think yes, you too, huh? So I was really disappointed when I got married. So, but yeah. So, but I didn't see angels, or well, I still don't exactly. I feel them and I hear them. I don't actually physically see them, which always confuses me. And I ask, but I guess I'm not ready yet to actually see them. Anyway, so I was older, and I just always like to know people's background to see if they have a similar one, or if I know that Teri probably saw angels when she was 2, but the rest of us.
Right. So I was raised Methodist. So my version of becoming a nun was that I thought I was going to marry a minister. So that was the Methodist version of becoming a nun.
Becoming a nun.
Right. But I wanted, so my friend, and the story's in the book, my friend Sylvia passed, and I was with her when she passed. And well, you can read that. But her passing really triggered my wanting to understand more the spiritual and paranormal. I really don't like that word. What's the better word? Intuitive. The intuitive experiences that I had had. I really, really wanted to understand what I was being shown. And I didn't trust any teachers because I didn't want to get taken down some dark road into being raised. It wasn't even from the Methodist Church, but my experiences with religion after that had made me very fearful of any kind of intuition. I mean, I was taught it was wrong and, it's going to lead you to hell. So I really was fearful, but I really wanted to understand what was I experiencing. And it took me over a year to find a teacher that I trusted. But I found her. And so I started taking weekly classes of learning about energy and being able to listen. And during that time, I wanted so badly to see an angel. I just wanted it so bad. But the only things I had seen were the cards that had like the voluptuous vixens that were, and I couldn't buy it. I couldn't accept that. And I remember I was in class, in my meditation class, and I said to myself, I guess that's it. There is no such thing as an angel. There's no such thing. And that same morning, we're in meditation in class. And all of a sudden, I see in my mind's eye this gray and white, rigid thing. And I'm going, what is that? What is that? And in my mind's eye, I back up and I see it's a wing. And I heard Archangel Michael. I heard the words, Archangel Michael. And I went, okay, I guess there is such a thing as angels. And that moment changed everything for me, absolutely everything for me. And that was only about 6.5, probably 5 years ago. So I haven't been seen, I use the word seen. Sometimes I see, a lot of times I feel, I hear, but I can't, I don't think I've ever seen Archangel Michael's face. I'm sure I haven't. And maybe I'm not ready. Maybe, they don't want to freak me out. So I don't know why, but I have not seen Archangel Michael's face. But I can always feel the difference between Archangel Raphael or Archangel Michael.
I do too, yeah.
Yeah.
the difference. And you know, the funny thing is, I feel like, in a way, I know what they look like. I know, like Gabriel, Archangel Gabriel, I knew that he had a feminine and a masculine side before I knew anything about him. But when he'd come to me, I could feel that kind of tenderness, gentleness there that, that told me that he was kind of, partly feminine, had strong. And then and when I started reading about angels, I said, oh my goodness, I felt like, wow, I really knew that, And then Archangel Michael is so strong, and he doesn't speak to me. The first time he spoke to me was when we were doing a healing or something the other day, Teri. And I said, oh, Archangel spoke to me. He never speaks to me. I was so shocked. But now he's spoken to me a couple of times since then. And I'm having trouble because he wants me to do something. I don't know what it is yet, but I'm having to work on trust a lot because I'm scared.
Letting go. Yeah, letting
I
go.
know. I've got to let it go. Got to.
It's so beautiful, Jean. I'm so glad you're having that experience.
Oh, well, it's kind of scary, but I love it. I do.
Well, and Jean, I want to say you always have free will. So if
Absolutely, I know
right,
that.
so if you hear something and you're thinking, oh no, I'm not doing that, that's okay. You absolutely have free will.
No, I want to do it, but I'm scared. It's complicated, but
It's okay. Feel that fear. Thank the fear for being there.
yeah.
You thank it for that experience, and then say, I'm willing to go forward. If you're willing to move past the fear, that's when the miracle happens. And you let go.
Yeah.
And I see Archangel Gabriel as Archangel Gabriel. So I see the way it's presented to me as the female version of it. So I understand.
Well, I still see a male, but with a feminine side to him. So, yeah.
We have people in our audience too. Deirdre has been with us, and Veronica, and Luz and Janet. And Luz is asking if we can post the books. Yes, I will post them in the book club. Luz, I hope that you're part of the Soul Food Book Club. I'll put it in there. We can also put the link on Enlightened World Network for any of you that haven't yet come into the book club. It's an open club. You can come in. We meet weekly in here. And Luz also says, I took an angel course and learned that they are there just waiting for us to ask them for help. So true.
I have to tell you all that the first time I heard words, I mean, I feel words. I can channel what I'm feeling, but I don't hear them as words. The first time I heard real words, I normally meditate first thing in the morning. So I'm still in bed, or, I go to a room where nobody else is up. And one time, I guess I was, I don't know. I must have been eating something. I mean, I was eating something. And the words I heard were, don't eat during meditation. I won't, I promise. And I never have again. Those were the first real words I heard.
Oh my.
I was trying to remember the first words because I've been seeing the angels and hearing them and experiencing them my whole life. And I don't remember the exact words, but I remember the feeling that I got from them that I was not alone, because I felt so alone during my childhood. And they were the ones that gave me comfort. I didn't get it from my family, the human family, but the angels always assured me that I wasn't alone, that I was here in this human body for a reason, and that they were right there with me. I knew I had guardian angels from the get-go. I knew they were there, and we all do. We all have those guardian angels that are with us from birth until we leave this body. And it's just a matter of opening up to them to be able to experience their presence. And yeah, you can call on them at any time and talk to them always. I just would like to know, have any of the rest of you experienced an angel or angels? Linda?
I haven't seen the angels in person, but they have always been with me my whole life, and I would always hear things. It would be like in my voice, like a dog's gonna run out in front of the car, so I slow down and I don't hit the dog. So it's always been that. And now there's a policeman up ahead, so that's
I'm glad you heard that one because we've traveled together.
Sorry about the helicopter.
a couple of times when I had a bad fall, I could just feel them, and I didn't feel the pain of the fall. I fell. Like I fell down a flight of stairs. I fell out of my high chair backwards and hit the back of my head, but I didn't feel pain like a person would. And growing up, like first and second grade, I've always had a language disability, and I would have trouble like putting 7 words in the correct order for a sentence. So I'd have to think about the sentence. Meanwhile, someone's talking and I'm trying to think about what they're saying and then speak. And then I had like 2 or 3 reels going at the same time. But despite that, as a baby, I understood language. I knew what people were saying even when I was a baby. I could remember that. And I would smirk thinking, isn't this funny? There's no way they know that. And I didn't know how to speak yet. But yet I knew what they were saying all the time. So it was just, and then as I was growing up, I would see angels as people. And there's a certain smile they have. And it's similar to a smirk, but it's a genuine grin. Like we both know a secret. And they'll just nod at me and I nod at them. And it's like a really good feeling. And sometimes it'll be a child and sometimes it'll be an adult, but they just kind of nod like, yeah, you're doing good. You're fine. You're on the right path. And I always had deja vu where I could see what was coming. And I would, if there's somebody near me that was going to pass, I would see people in the room with dark coats. I wouldn't really see their faces, but the closer it got, the more people I saw. And I also had intuition of events like 9/11 and different things like that. So, but I would love to be closer where I see them and converse back and forth with them. And I guess that's all. Oh, sorry.
Thank you for sharing that, Linda. I know that recently we've been more aware of the 500,000 Earth angels. I don't think that's mentioned in One Love. Is it brought out in any report?
I don't know, because it was April of last year. I was in meditation and I saw, sometimes when I do the meditations to the healing pole, I'll see, we go up a hill, Jean, yes, we go up a hill. Angels come and they meet us halfway up the hill. So I totally see the same thing that you're talking about. And a couple times I've seen like this massively huge, it's like a wrought iron fence. And, the posts go this way. And it's as far as you can see to the right and as far as you can see to the left. And then, they'll open the gates and it's a huge thing. The date that I saw, it was April 8th. I am the worst person with dates. So the fact that I actually remember that, it must have really impacted me. In meditation, I saw those gates and they opened hugely and all these angels came out, earth angels. It's not the archangels, but earth angels. And I'm just looking at them all and I said, wow, how many are there? And I heard 500,000. And I was told that they are here. They left the ethereal realm and came into our realm, the 3D realm. And I was told that they're here and that we can ask them to go help with, different things. And Teri and I have worked with them so many times. The Sunday meditations that we do, the silent meditations, it's pretty common that the 500,000 earth angels will show up, and we'll ask them to go deal with whatever the catastrophe of the day is.
Right.
But yeah, so the earth angels, they very interesting, these earth angels. What I was told was that they all have been in body. And when they were in body, not the best at behavior, right? I mean, really some pretty low level activity going on with these people in bodies. And when they passed, then they wanted to up their game. They wanted to be better souls. They wanted to work their way up the angel echelon. And they have done that in the ethereal realm. They've worked their way up to where they can now come back and be helpful to us here in the physical realm. And it was interesting because I said, well, they all look like they're male. And they said, well, yeah, but they aren't all male, but they present all as male because it doesn't complicate things here. I don't know how to explain that, but people could get weird, if there was this female angel thing, it could just get really messy. So they all present as males here. So 500,000, I love working with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been an amazing experience, and we've seen a lot of change just by calling them into whatever it might be. Like you said, the flavor of the day, whatever disaster is going on. And
I think that those angels appear whatever way the person experiencing them are more comfortable as well, So I think they are totally, I mean, I know you guys know this with they're genderless. They but I think sometimes it's however is easiest for the recipient.
Exactly. Thank you. That's so true. However, it's going to make us resonate with them and be able to understand them. That's what they do. They can use anything to help us understand their message. We are going to end the show early today because at 2:00 Eastern Time, Niobe Weaver is going to share with us about singing bowls. And that's going to be an amazing show coming up after this one. But we are going to end this one in a few more minutes. And what I'd like to do is just take some time. If any of you have questions for Ruth about the book, again, how we should proceed. I don't want to say expectations, but anything that we need to know going into reading this. Should we read the whole book and then go back and write down things, or should we keep a journal? That's my question. So I want to know if you all have any questions for her as you start to get into the book when yours arrives.
What I would suggest first, I want you to notice. So can you see the cover?
Yes, you can see it.
I created this because it reminds me of the first time I saw Archangel Michael in meditation. So when you see the cover, that's why it looks like it does. And what I would recommend, if you are up for it, in the same way that I journaled the times in my life that I knew that there was a spiritual, energetic something that happened to me and I just didn't understand it, jot those down yourselves, because that would be fun for us to be able to hear from you all. Those times that really stand out in your mind. And sometimes it's dreams, those dreams that aren't like other dreams, that you wake up and you were just with someone who passed. That was a message from spirit. Jot down those things and we'll just kind of walk through some of those when we're together. I think that would be fun.
Kathy?
My mom was a big believer in angels, and Of course, she's passed away 10 years ago. But she left this little pillow that it's like a little hanging that you can put up. And she used to put it up every Christmas. I tend to keep it up a little longer. And it says, I believe in angels on it. And everything that we have of her, she started getting those little willow tree angels and things. And I've continued that. I have my little place where I have family pictures and whatever, my mom's pictures, and there's angels. And they used to call her Stella Star. Her name is Stella. And I have the one angel with her holding a star. So I really like to think that she's part of the reason why I'm here. Because I want to believe that she's an angel.
She's your angel. Yeah, she represents for you. Absolutely.
Kathy, have you ever heard your name said and you look around and nobody's there?
I have more dreams.
Oh, because
Of her.
a lot of people, they hear their name being said and you turn around and you look and there's nobody there. And I've always believed it's your angel. Get your attention for something. You know?
It could be, I mean, there are times when I feel like something or someone else is there. But I can't, I don't always, in our busy lives, we don't always stop and pay attention. And now I'm hoping that I'll start paying attention more.
I have been having angels in my life since I was a kid. And I'm not sure what your expectations are of what an angel is going to look or sound like, or because sometimes it's extremely subtle. There's no doubt about it. It's just that gut feeling that suddenly comes to you, or that quick thought. What Linda was saying really resonated with me, where it was like, I'm going to change this lane now. And really, there's no good reason for it at the time. But to me, and I think once you start looking for that, you'll start, hearing them more. Or, like I said, for me, I don't see them. But lately, they've been showing me, I've been saying this for months now, even I have a healing pool. I just didn't have that as a name. But even within that, they're starting to show the whole crystal gridding thing. So everything's just been lit up from, it used to be I would go into a forest and there was a cabin and I could go from there to any healing place that I wanted to. I mean, there were multiple places to go. But now once I get there, and one of my favorite things is just envisioning myself going into their soft wings, because for me, that's how I envision them in my own mind. And so to me, I'm always wrapped up in this most soft, warm, loving feeling of wings. But now even then, they light that stuff up too after they do it. And so even my healing pool now is totally psychedelic.
That's so cool. That's so cool. I love that. And again, I encourage all of you to listen to at least one of those meditations at the healing pool. I think you'll get a lot from that. I just looked at the time and we are going to have to end this for today. I love this discussion today. And Ruth, thank you so much for being here with us.
My pleasure.
Any ending words that you want to share with the book or anyone else?
I can't wait. Wait to do this with you. And Kathy, I hope you'll come back in particular, because I want all of you back, But Kathy, what I'm hearing for you is when you're just going about your day, just pay attention to your body. And if you, sometimes it's like, gosh, all of a sudden my stomach, just like, what is that? Or all of a sudden my breathing, what is that? Or wow, all of a sudden it's like an expansiveness in my chest, but just stop and pay attention to that. And whatever it is that you're feeling, if it's expansiveness in your lung space or, you know, something in your throat, really sink into that. Because what I'm hearing is that, and I've experienced it myself, when I listen to those things, I'll get more answers.
Mhm.
So what I'm hearing for you is pay really close attention when you get that twang somewhere in your body.
I can name one thing in particular real quick. My husband used to drag race motorcycles. I was holding my son in my arms. He was like 2, and he wrecked. And he went sliding down the track. His head hit against the guardrail. I mean, he had leather, his helmet, whatever. But something inside of me, you know, most women would panic, right? You'd see your husband flying off the motorcycle at nearly 200 miles per hour, and you panic. I felt calm, as if he's going to be okay.
Mhm.
I did have that, I just lost my dad, now I'm going to lose my husband thing. But then I felt calm, and he turned around, he stood up, and he gave me the hand signal, I'm okay. That's what we decided on. I know it's silly, but I knew it was okay.
Yeah, you had that knowing. Oh, I'm so glad he was. Thank you for
Years
sharing.
ago.
Yeah, well, thank you for sharing that with us. Yeah, it's those kind of things when the angels just wrap their wings around us, they comfort us, and we have that knowingness that everything's working okay. Everything's going to be all right. We do have to go. I love you all so much. Thank you for being with us
Thank
today.
you.
And I can't wait to get into this book with all of you and these wonderful discussions that are going to just keep going. So thank you. Have a blessed rest of your day, and listen to Niobe. I love Niobe, and she's got a lot to share with us about singing bowls and sound healing. So that's coming up at 2:00 with Ruth and Niobe. So bye, everybody. I love you.
Love you guys.
Bye.